every morning, before the world even sees your face, before a single notification lights up your screen, before anyone else's voice enters your space, you have the opportunity to speak to the most powerful person in your life in you. And what you say in that moment matters more than most people realize, because your words create your world. Your identity, the way you define yourself, shapes every decision, every action, and ultimately your destiny. The truth is, most people wake up already feeling behind. They scroll social media and compare. They remember yesterday's failures and carry the weight of regrets. But your morning isn't meant to be a replay of your pain. It's meant to be a declaration of your power. The world doesn't define who you are. Your circumstances don't define you. Your past doesn't hold the pen anymore. You do. That's why every morning you must remind yourself, I am enough, exactly as I am. Not because you're perfect, but because you're growing. Not because everything's in place, but because your worth has never depended on outside validation. It's easy to believe you're valuable when people praise you. It's harder to hold onto that truth when you feel invisible. But your identity is not fragile. It's not negotiable. It doesn't fade when people forget your name. It doesn't disappear when you fail. Your identity is rooted in something deeper, something immovable. So tell yourself, I am stronger than I was yesterday, and I am wiser than I've ever been, because every experience, good or bad, has added to you. You've endured storms and kept walking. You've faced heartbreak and kept loving. You've made mistakes and kept learning. That's strength. That's wisdom. That's resilience. And it counts. But don't stop there. You need to affirm something else. See, I don't chase approval. I walk in truth. Because too often we trade authenticity for acceptance. We try to shift just to fit into places that don't value us. But your power isn't in being liked. It's in being real. You don't need to beg for a seat at a table when you were born to build your own. Walking in your truth means honoring your values, even when it's unpopular. It means standing tall in your uniqueness, even when it's misunderstood, because identity isn't just about knowing who you are. It's about protecting that truth at all costs. And yes, some days it's hard. There are mornings you wake up and doubt creeps in. The voice in your head whispers that you're not enough, not ready, not worthy. But that voice is lying. It's built from past wounds and outside noise. And every time you speak truth to it, every time you say, I am worthy, I am capable, I am chosen, you weaken that voice. You take back control. You remind yourself that your mind doesn't own you. You own your mind. Identity is the foundation of every great life. Without it, people get lost. They drift, chase trends, and react to every opinion. But with a strong sense of self, you move with clarity. You stop asking for directions from people who've never been where you're going. You stop settling for less because you know your value. You stop doubting yourself because you've already decided who you are. You must become the loudest advocate for your truth, especially when doubt tries to silence it. Every morning, remind yourself of who you are, because how you see yourself will determine how you show up in the world. If you see yourself as broken, you'll live cautiously. If you see yourself as powerful, you'll live boldly. If you see yourself as worthy, you'll stop tolerating what doesn't align with your worth. And remember, growth doesn't mean your identity changes. It means it expands. You're not becoming someone new. You're becoming more of who you truly are. Every lesson, every challenge, every triumph brings you closer to the most authentic version of you. So don't rush your mornings. Don't let the world speak louder than your own soul. Take a breath, stand in front of the mirror, and say the words that matter. Speak strength, speak clarity, speak identity. Because when you know who you are, there is no force on earth that can stop what you're becoming. Every morning you wake up is proof that your story isn't finished yet. It's a silent invitation from life itself, whispering, there's still more for you. Get up and go get it. You were not born to drift, to merely survive, or to move aimlessly through your days like a leaf caught in the current. You were born with a purpose, one that's wired into your very being. The tragedy is not that people fail, it's that they never figure out what they're even aiming for. They wake up, go through the motions, and confuse movement with meaning. but deep inside, they know something's missing. Purpose is what makes the difference between simply existing and truly living. It's what turns a long day into a meaningful one. It gives fire to your effort and vision to your decisions. Without it, you're just reacting, caught up in what everyone else wants from you, pulled in 100 directions. But when you have purpose, everything changes. Your energy becomes focused. Your yes has direction. Your no has power. You stop wasting time because you know exactly what you're working toward. Purpose doesn't mean you have all the answers. It doesn't mean you know every step of the journey. But it does mean you've chosen a direction and you're moving with intention. That's why every morning you must tell yourself, I have a reason to rise. My life matters. Because some days motivation won't be enough. You won't feel inspired. You won't feel ready. But purpose outlasts moods. It doesn't disappear when life gets hard. It becomes the compass that pulls you through. Your purpose may not be some massive, world-changing mission, and that's okay. Sometimes, a purpose is just the quiet conviction that you are here to bring light to the people around you. Sometimes it's the fire to grow, to heal, to create, to serve, or to lead. It's different for everyone, but it's never random. You are not a mistake. You are not an accident. You are here for a reason. Each morning, remind yourself of that reason. Say, today, I will do one thing that moves me closer to my vision. It doesn't have to be big. Maybe it's a small step. Writing a paragraph, making a call, showing up for a workout, learning a new skill, having a difficult conversation. The size doesn't matter. The consistency does. Purpose is built brick by brick, day by day. When you stay focused on the mission, even the smallest effort becomes sacred. And don't fall into the trap of thinking you need to have it all figured out before you start. Purpose is discovered through action. Clarity comes from movement. The path often reveals itself after you begin walking it. So don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect plan. Start where, use what you are, do what you can, and trust that purpose will meet you along the way. Also, understand this: your purpose will require sacrifice. It will demand discipline. There will be days when giving up feels easier than going on. But in those moments, remember what's at stake. Remember that comfort is a liar. It tells you to settle when greatness is within reach. Purpose will stretch you. It will confront your excuses, but it will also awaken your potential in ways you never imagined. When you live with purpose, you begin to attract what's aligned with it. You say no to distractions, yes to growth. You stop trying to please everyone because you realize your mission is too important to water down. You live sharper, think clearer, and love deeper. Because everything you do is rooted in meaning. And perhaps most importantly, living with purpose gives your pain context. It gives your struggle a reason. The hard days don't break you. They build you. The failures don't define you. They refine you. Because you're not just going through life. You're growing through it. And every challenge you overcome adds weight to your message. Your life becomes a testimony, not just of survival, but of significance. So when the alarm clock goes off and you feel the heaviness of the day ahead, don't just roll over and dread it. Speak to yourself. Declare your purpose. Say it with confidence. I know why I'm here. I know what I'm building. And today I move with intention. You were not born to drift. You were born to drive your life with direction, ensured in purpose, fueled by passion, and focused on becoming everything you were meant to be. ChatGPT said life doesn't hand out guarantees. It doesn't play fair. It doesn't wait for you to feel ready. And it certainly doesn't spare anyone from pain. But while life may not be easy, the truth is you weren't built for easy. You were built for strength, for storms, for setbacks that don't shake your soul, but sharpen it. Every obstacle you've faced didn't just come to test you. It came to reveal you. And what it revealed, if you're honest, is that there's more grit inside you than you thought. More fire, more resilience. Resilience isn't about pretending things don't hurt. It's not fake positivity or acting like nothing touches you. No. Resilience is about facing life head-on, feeling the weight of it all, and still choosing to rise. It's about waking up the morning after a loss and saying, I'm not done. It's about looking at your scars and realizing they didn't disfigure you. They defined you. They're proof that you've lived, that you've battled, and that you're still standing. Every morning, you must remind yourself, I don't shrink from discomfort. I grow from it. Because every time life pushes you, you have two options, retreat or rise. And when you choose to rise, even when it hurts, even when you don't feel strong, you activate a deeper level of yourself. A version that refuses to break. A version that sees struggle not as a wall, but as a window, an opening into who you're capable of becoming. Too often, people wait for life to be perfect before they show up. They want the road to be smooth, but the path to be clear, the timing to be ideal. But that's not how resilience works. Resilience shows up when nothing makes sense, when your heart is heavy, when your plans have crumbled, when the people you counted on let you down. Resilience says, even here, even now, I will not quit. And you've proven this already. Think about it. You've survived things you once thought would break you. You've healed from wounds you never thought would close. You've adapted to changes, outgrown versions of yourself, and walked away from situations that drained your soul. That's not weakness. That's resilience in action. That's strength most people never talk about, but it's the kind that transforms lives. So say this to yourself, I can't control everything, but I can control my response. That's where your power is. Not in avoiding pain, but in managing how you show up in the middle of it. Life may hand you chaos, but you get to choose your mindset. You get to choose whether you'll be bitter or better. You get to decide whether a closed door is the end or the redirection you didn't know you needed. Resilience doesn't mean you never fall. It means you never stay down. It means you bounce back wiser. You come back with deeper compassion. You return with sharper vision. Because sometimes the greatest breakthroughs don't come through comfort. They come through breaking illusions, breaking limits. Breaking away from what no longer serves you. And yes, some days will be dark. There will be moments where you question everything. You'll feel tired, discouraged, maybe even forgotten. But that's when resilience becomes most important. That's when you tell yourself, I will not let yesterday define me. Today is my reset. Every sunrise is a second chance. Every morning is a reminder that you are not finished. That whatever tried to bury you didn't know you were a seed. You don't need to be perfect to be powerful. You just need to keep going. Even when the process is messy. Even when progress feels invisible. Even when no one claps for you. Keep showing up. Keep speaking life over yourself. Keep choosing growth. Because the strongest people you know didn't get there by accident. They got there because they refused to give up. Resilience is what separates people who endure from those who escape. Some numb the pain, avoid the work, or blame the world. But you step into it. You carry it, learn from it, and use it as fuel. You understand that storms don't come to drown you. They come to cleanse you, to rebuild you, to prepare you. So don't be afraid of struggle. Don't resent the hard seasons. They are forging something in you that comfort never could. Every time you get back up, every time you try again, you are proving to yourself and to the world that you are not a victim of life. You are a force within it. You weren't built for easy. You were built to endure, to grow, and to rise. Not just once, but again and again. That's resilience, and it lives in you. ChatGPT said, in a world filled with noise, distraction, and endless demands, focus has become one of the rarest and most powerful tools you can develop. Every day you wake up, your mind is pulled in 1,000 directions. Notifications, responsibilities, opinions, fears, and expectations. But in that chaos, you must choose what gets your attention. Because where your attention goes, your energy flows. And where your energy flows, your life grows. The quality of your focus determines the quality of your future. Most people don't lose their potential because they aren't talented. They lose it because they're distracted. They don't fail because they're not capable. They fail because they're constantly reacting instead of intentionally responding. You weren't meant to live your life at the mercy of interruptions. You weren't meant to wake up every day and drift into whatever grabs your attention first. Focus is about taking control of your energy and deciding what matters before the world tries to decide for you. Each morning, You need to center yourself and say, I will focus on what builds, not what breaks. That means choosing thoughts that fuel your growth, not your fears. That means putting your energy into people and projects that elevate you, not drain you. Focus is the discipline of filtering. Not everything deserves your energy. Not every argument deserves a reply. Not every invitation deserves a yes. Learning to focus is learning to protect your peace. When you focus, you begin to live on purpose. You stop multitasking your way through life and start doing things with intention. Focus helps you go deep instead of wide. It helps you do one thing well instead of 20 things poorly. And in that depth, you discover progress. Most breakthroughs don't come from scattered energy. They come from concentrated effort repeated daily until results begin to speak. But here's the challenging: focus requires saying no. It requires discipline. It demands that you pull away from comfort, from distractions, from the need to be everywhere and do everything. That's hard in a world that constantly screams for your attention. But if you don't take command of your focus, someone else will. Your time will be spent, your mind will be cluttered, and your energy will be divided. And when energy is divided, progress is diluted. So you have to start the day with intention. Say it to yourself: I release what I can't control and protect my peace. Because anxiety is often the result of mental clutter. Trying to manage everything, fix everything, control everything. It wears down your clarity. But when you let go of what's outside your influence, you free up space to focus on what you can change. And that's where your power is. Don't underestimate the strength of a focused mind. 1 hour of deep, undistracted work can produce more than 10 hours of scattered effort. One clear decision can create more momentum than weeks of indecision. Focused energy is a multiplier. It doesn't just move you forward. It accelerates everything. It aligns your actions with your purpose. It sharpens your vision and gives weight to your time. And focus is not just about productivity. It's about presence. When you're fully present, you experience life differently. You connect more deeply with people. You appreciate moments more fully. You become aware of your thoughts, your emotions, your habits. You stop going through the motions and start living your life one moment at a time. But focus isn't automatic. It has to be trained. It's a muscle. And like any muscle, it grows through use. So train it every day. Begin your mornings in stillness, not scrolling. Set your priorities, not your panic. Choose your battles, not your distractions. Focus is not a condition. It's a choice. A daily, deliberate choice. Yes, life will try to pull you away from what matters. Emergencies will come. People will demand. Doubt will whisper. But when you're anchored in focus, you don't chase every noise. You respond to what matters. You protect your energy like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. So tell yourself each morning, I will speak life, think growth, and act in alignment with my goals. That's how you stay locked in. That you silence the noise. That's how you move forward when others get stuck. It's not luck. It's not talent. It's focus. Quiet. Steady. Relentless focus. In the end, the difference between people who dream and those who achieve is not always intelligence or opportunity. It's focus. The dreamers wait for the perfect time. The focused create the time. The dreamers hope. The focused build. Your future is being shaped by where you direct your energy today. So aim it wisely. Focus on what matters. Focus on what's real. Focus on what moves you. Because your life is too precious, your time is too limited, and your potential is too great to be scattered. Where your focus goes, your future grows.